Kate. Welcome to Covert Narcissist 101. Thank you for joining me. Haven't subscribed? Please do. Don't forget to like and share as well. Guys, today's topic is do's and don'ts when the covert narcissist gets custody of the kids. When the court awards custody of the kids or primary custody of the kids to the covert narcissist. Unfortunately, sometimes this happens. In my situation, I got primary custody, and the covert narcissist has visitation time. But obviously, sometimes that's not how it works out with some people, and where the kids end up going to the covert narcissist, and you get this visitation time. Of course, we already know that the court doesn't understand the covert narcissist and how they operate and all that stuff. So for whatever reason that they ended up having primary custody, maybe they have the mother and then the kids are a little, they're smaller, and they give them, they have the kids go to the mother. Whatever reason it is, or maybe they're financially more stable, at least, or acted out that out in court, because that's another thing too. They get to talk in circles in court and ended up having the primary custody, or they were able to, especially when you don't understand what they're doing, they were able to get you to act out in a certain ways because you are reacting to the nonsense that they're doing and nobody's seeing. They ended up getting primary custody. For whatever reason it is, they have the custody, and you're awarded visitation time. So the do's and don'ts. And since I've witnessed it around people around me, after you've discovered these people, you kind of see them in so many people around you that didn't make any sense. But now you understand, so you see what's going on. One thing you don't do, guys, because I'm all about the mental health, your mental health here. Keeping your mind together, getting your mind right is, and don't expect them to follow the instructions. And even us that have the primary custody of the kids, we know that the covert narcissist, that's the last thing they want to do. So don't expect them to follow the instructions. That way you prepare ahead of time and don't have expectations which will now have you worrying, have you unstable, have you, angry and all that stuff, because that's what happens, which, your mind is all over the place. So but don't expect them to do what they're supposed to do, because they'll never do what they're supposed to do. So you have that out there. So what do you actually do? What are the things that you do when you have custody? Establish a routine. Establish a routine, whether it's calling a certain time, the time of the day, or certain days of the week. Establish routine with the children. And when I'm here, I'm referring to kids that are, do not have cell phones, younger kids, they're not teenagers yet, something like that. They can only call you or reach out to you if the covert narcissist allows them to, or provides the means for them to do that. So that's the kids I'm referring to here. Not the kids that can actually make phone calls on their own to you. So establish a routine where you have, consistently, this is what happens. Every Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, you call around 10 or something like that. Or, the kids are, you check in on them, certain times of the week or whatever. Establish a routine, because this is going to tie into, you're going to need this for the next point, which is requesting a wellness check. You don't, the police doesn't need an order to go check on your kids, especially if you do not, haven't established any kind of communication with them or whatever for more than what you're supposed to, out of the ordinary. See, this is why I say you should have established routine, so that when you do request for wellness check from the police to go check on your kids to make sure that you're okay, the first thing they're going to ask you is, okay, is this out of the ordinary? Is this something that, normally they talk to you around this time? Stuff like that. But that's why you need to have a routine established already, because that way they'll know that, okay, they'll not, be encouraged to go check. But if there's no routine whatsoever, they might look at this as some kind of, miscommunication or misunderstanding between you and the covert narcissist, The next one, of course, is to monitor the kids. Monitor the kids through school, the school emails. Be part of that. The teacher conference thing, the PTO. If you live in the same city with the kids, or if you live out of state, then you do the online thing, do the email. Be all up in that. Know what is going on with the school, what is going on. When they're meeting the teacher. If you're able to go. If you don't, show up for all this stuff. First day of school, stuff like that. If you're able to do all that, do that. And especially with the email, especially when the kids are a little bit older, that they have their own email in school, like all the kids do, and they can, you can reach them out, from there. At least keep an eye on, them through that way. So do that. Do not fail to participate in stuff like that, because chances are the covert narcissist is not going to be keeping up with that. That's for sure. They will not be doing that. Now, document and enforce any visitation time that you didn't get. This is something that you need to be on. If it's consistently back to back to back, where the time for your visit is there, they will not let the kids come. Document all this and enforce it. Because what you're trying to establish is to have the court see how many times this person is not willing to cooperate. That might have them start looking at your case again. If you see how many times this person that is awarded primary custody does not want to cooperate with you or work with you with the kids, that might, have your case, reopened or whatever, and then the custody decision might be reversed, or at least, you get more time for that. Another one, of course, is document every negligence on the part, like, the kids' health, the schoolwork not being done, or the kids are not doing well in school because nobody's following up with them with school and everything. Schoolwork, make sure homework is done. You document that as well. And because this is part of what you use when you're trying to, especially if you want to reopen the custody case, you want to fight that, this is what you use, because they need to see that this person is not really hands-on, because they never really are, because they can't look beyond themselves to fully participate in a kid's life, even though they fought for custody to get the kids, because that was mainly just for you. So, but you document every negligence, doctor's visit that they don't go, dental appointment that they don't go, vision, exams that they don't take them to. These are something that you need to keep an eye on, so that you can take all this evidence and go revisit, for the custody case, so that they can revisit that and maybe reverse their decision, or at least look into this. Have the court be aware, if nothing else. Have the court be aware that this is what is going on. So, guys, sometimes we're fortunate that the covert narcissist ends up getting custody for whatever reason, but we already know that they are not all for the children. They're careless. This is something that they feel like they've won, where they're trying to win over you. And that makes it more important that you do all this stuff, like you keep track of all these things, and, don't relent on trying to do what you need to do in this regard. All right, guys, get a hold of your mind, and everything's falling into